crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to all my members. And it's Sunday afternoon, guys. It's just hard to believe. It's like the weekend just flies by. Why does it seem like the week drags on for me to get here and get to do what I need to do and what I want to do? And yet, when it comes to the weekend, it just flies as fast as it can. And oh my God, we're already back at Monday, which is crazy, right? Because this week is a short week for me. I do get to work from home tomorrow, but then Tuesday, I've got crazy meetings all day, all afternoon, so I'll get home late Tuesday. I had hoped to take Wednesday off to get to the finish up getting everything ready for our retreat on Thursday, but instead I have to work a half a day, really 6 hours in the office on Wednesday. So I ended up taking a couple hours vacation so I can get back home and get packed in that, so we'll be ready to go on Thursday morning. So I don't know, just crazy. Just so much going on. But with that said, Katrina was first one in. Welcome, Katrina. Thanks for being here. She says, good afternoon. Just doing some English paper piecing. How cool is that? Miss Mona's here from Tucson. Welcome in, Mona. Who else? Jackie's here. Hey, Jackie, welcome in. Mr. Quilter's here. He's taking his lunchtime over in New Zealand, and we so appreciate him joining. I just watched the new paper piecing project that he's working on, and that looks like an amazing kit. But of course, you know me, I keep talking about paper piecing and buying more and more, but yet haven't started any. He says, yeah, so sad about Tim. I watched the video of his family, but I did too. I did not realize I'd been watching Tim, and I don't know what makes me think about Tim Totten. And yeah, he was always just such a jolly person, right? And he's not one that I followed or saw early on when I started my channel or started into YouTube and all that. But I did like some of his projects, and that, of course, he did so much more than quilting, and was always interesting to watch. But the one video that I remember watching more than anything was there's apparently a place down in Florida that does an amazing job with chicken salad. And so he had this whole chicken salad video and how he tried to make this copycat recipe and all that. And interesting enough, I do enjoy chicken salad, so it just made me really kind of hone in on that. But it just seems so out of the spectrum for everything else that Tim did. But very, very sad. I mean, what was it? It's probably been over a year now since Donna Jordan's gone. Tim's gone now. It's just sad to see the personalities and some of the YouTube creators that have really helped establish themselves and establish YouTube as a medium for us in the crafting world, and that starting to disappear. Katrina said, I would watch him on Saturday mornings. That man could create something on the fly, and it would be, yes, it was amazing. His creativity was just beyond everyone. Hey, Brian, Witchcraft Room, welcome. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Who else? Judy's here. Hey, Judy, welcome in. Jen's here. Hey, Jen, welcome in. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Nikki's here. Jean's here. Delia's here. Hey, Delia, welcome in. Poor Delia, she's got all the lists, right? It's hard when you're on the other side, right? It's nice that I can just shout out people, but at the same time, if you're trying to chat and keep up with the chat, it's like so many of them you want to call out and do a hi to, and it's not always easy. I get that. Quilter Janet's here. Hello, Janet. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. And thanks for being a member. Who else? I think I'm caught up. Oh, Katrina goes, I timed that just about right. I just finished my paper piecing block. How cool is that? Hey, Mama Jan, welcome in. She's here, but she's going to be on the floor. Crystal's here. Hey, Crystal, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Hey, Danielle, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Who else? Oh, Mona says, still wish I could be at the retreat. But having the prior commitment, I wasn't able to do both. Nope, I get that. I appreciate that. And you'll have such a good time going up north and being with your girls and your buds and that. And we totally get it. We will miss you, but we totally get it. Sally's here, my buddy from California. Hey, Sally, welcome in. She says, I'm packing for her week-long retreat. Hers starts Monday and taking too much, but that's okay. Yeah, I do too. I mean, we have worked and worked on the menu this week, and we've tried to narrow down what we want. We do, this time, we kind of changed it up a little bit. We did what we considered brunch last time and dinner. But it seemed like all we did was eat, and every time we'd say it's time to eat again, people were like, no. So we're doing breakfast and dinner this time, and we'll have snacks out in the afternoon, like uh, uh, charcuterie boards and that. But we'll do breakfast, we'll do dinner, and but it's like we're at the $300 on groceries, $350 on groceries, and it's like, okay, it's 3 days, it's 4 days, 3 nights. Trying to calculate because we really did really have entirely too much food last time, so really trying to hone that down. But I think it's just one of those things that's going to take a few times for us to really lock in what just makes sense, but we'll see. I did get all the tote bags made, so all the retreaters get a tote bag with a lot of different gifts in it. If you're all interested, I'll actually do a video maybe and post it after the retreat about what we do as far as gifting to folks that show up for our retreats. Jen, Jen goes, John is running late. I was here 4:01 maybe. It's just kind of crazy always, right? Oh, okay. Apparently my camera decided to zoom in. It's been doing that today. I don't know why. So that's not the face you want to see, I can tell you. My age is definitely starting to show. We don't want to do zoom, but for some reason my camera likes to do what it wants to do when it wants to do it, even if I don't touch a button. All right, I think we're back again. Who else is here? Oh, Zaza's here. Zazalita's in the house. Welcome. I was watching one of your videos the other day, actually popped up in my feed. I hadn't seen your videos for a while, and I don't think you're back to lives yet. I haven't seen one, or maybe I haven't looked like I should be. Who else is here? Deb, the Pug Mama Quilter's in. Hey, Deb, welcome in. All right, am I getting caught up on chat? I have got so much to show you all. I actually did get a couple of projects done today. So how cool is that? Runs with Quilts is here. Hey, Melissa, welcome in. Thanks for being here. K Money Quilting's here. Hey, welcome in. Danielle said, I was wondering what was going on with the camera. I thought it was YouTube playing games. For some reason, this particular camera it's got a mind of its own. I'm supposed to be able to zoom in and out on it and do what I want. And the problem is this camera's delayed, so I have to keep looking over here, and it just drives me nuts. But we'll see. Melissa says, my shirt is very vibrant tonight. Yes, it's all purple, and I think we finally have the lighting correct in this room. All right, so what have I gotten done this week? So we did Quilts of Valor the other night. I have been working on that. The project I want to finish tonight is Bear Hugs, and that is the quilt that I bought, I think like 2 years ago for my niece, who again's become the cat mom in that. So I've got that to work on when I get to it tonight. And that's the one that has all the cool cats drinking wine and that. So, and I love these colors, the orange and this green and this maroon. I think she'll be really happy with it, and it's completely different. It's not a huge quilt. It's probably bigger than a wall hanging, but it's definitely just probably lap quilt size. It finishes out 42 by 48. I'm actually making it a little bit bigger because I'm adding an extra 6 inches to the length. So it's going to be about 42 by 54 when it gets done. So, but again, another Villa Rosa pattern. And then I started working on Tibet the other night from Bill Rosa as well, and that is the Quilt of Valor that Pat had asked me to do. And so I've got all the blocks done, so I just need to sew those. So I'll be working on those tonight. And I think they're turning out really cool, guys. Let me show you if I can move everything around. I keep thinking I'm making so much space for myself, but I'm really not. So this is one block. So I really like those blocks. And then this, then it gets paired with this block, which is not one that I would have ever picked. Pat did. And now that I've kind of seen it come together, I really do like it. So I do think it'll really make a cute, very nice QOV. So that is something, if I get to it tonight, we'll work on that. But let me show you a couple of other projects that I finally got done. So let's see what we can do. We'll switch over here. Danielle says, my old camera was la-di-do, same thing. However, one day it just started doing whatever it wanted, so I told it bye-bye and got a different camera. Yeah, my problem is this is a new camera. This is one of the new ones. Danielle said I enjoyed your quilting on Saturday. Hey, Dale, welcome in. Um, hey, Joy D. Always good to see Joy D. Lita in the house. All right, who else? Salsa says, love that fabric. Yeah, I do too. It's just something different. Nanette's here. Hey, Nanette, welcome in. Sweet Granny's here. Hey, Sweet Granny, good evening. Welcome in. Katrina says, back. Brother-in-law is coming third week in June. Look at that. All right, so y'all are always busy. All right, so let me switch over and let's look at what did John get done this week? So I did finish. This is the one from Sewing Parts Online that I had started. I didn't cut enough to make all the blocks as much as I wanted, so I ended up putting this together myself, and I ended up putting this border on it with come on, guys, this border on it with the Foco fabric. So I really love this pattern. I really love the way this pops. It really turned out, I think, so spectacular. I couldn't be happier with the way this looks. So this, I think, is going to be great and be a fun project. So I'm anxious for him to get that one long-armed. And then I got my floral wreath done because if you remember, I ordered some other um, materials from World, and I needed to make up the shipping cost, and so I ended up just throwing in a Tula floral wreath charm pack, and then actually just came up with this um, playing on the computer. Ended up coming up with this design. So if someone has this design, so be it. But I actually considered this my own type of design, right? It's something I played with on the computer back and forth with EQ8 and that, and ended up finding this. So I really liked the way this turned out. And you know, when it comes to Tula and matching black with her, just really makes her colors just pop, right? So I'm anxious for him to get that done. So it's not a huge quilt because it only took um, I only use 2 charm packs basically. So it's about 84 charms. It's a little bit more than that. I had to cheat on a few of them, and I had to cheat and actually use one of her other collections to get it completely done. But I am really happy with how that turned out, and I think that was really cool. So I'm happy with that. Hey, Rob from Connecticut's here. Hey, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Always good to see you. Brenda's here. Thanks, Brenda. So, who else? Yeah, K Money says, I love the effect that the big print cut up gives. Yeah, it's just funny, right? It's just, um, yeah, getting the right fabrics and pairing them correctly just makes such a difference. Regina's here. Hey, Mary, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Who else? All right, I think I am caught up. So where are we at? All right, I want to work on this one a little bit and get this one going. So yeah, this week is just gonna be crazy. It's, when you have a short week and, but work doesn't stop, right? So I still have to get done basically a week's worth of work in 2.5 days. And the only reason I'm working Wednesday is because I literally have back-to-back meetings starting at 8 a.m. Up through noon, so I can't get off till noon. I typically go in at 6, and so it's just frustrating because just so much going on, and yet my big project, my big activity for the year starts in July, so just trying to get all that done. And then I found out my son is engaged again, so congrats to him. So Danelle, we will be headed to Knoxville, Tennessee in October because he apparently has decided for his 40th birthday, and God only knows how on earth I have a child that's going to be turning 40. For his 40th birthday is when they're going to get married. And so we will be headed to Knoxville. I think the wedding itself and that's going to be over in Gatlinburg, but it'd be exciting. I have not been back to Knoxville, that area in Tennessee for quite a few years. We used to camp when the kids were young. We used to camp in Pigeon Forge like twice a year, 3 times a year, because we only lived about 5 hours. And the kids growing up, we actually had a pop-up camper. My kids loved it, and we drug that pop-up everywhere. It was a Coleman pop-up. I don't think they make anything that compares to what Coleman was back in the day. And it's sad to see that Coleman went away. Sorry, looking for my drink. Um, but the kids loved camping, and back in the day we could camp for like 25, $30 a night. I think at one point we paid $50 a night, and that was to camp at Kissimmee down when we went to Orlando with the kids. And that park that we stayed at, because we didn't stay at Disney, I think if we stayed 4 nights, you got the fifth night free or something like that, but it was still $50 a night, which back then was a lot of money for camping in a pop-up. But my kids loved it. They had friends that, used to go rent condos and that kind of stuff all the time. And my kids were like, no, we wouldn't trade getting to go twice a month somewhere for getting to go twice a year. Because they were smart enough to know we didn't have that kind of money, but we could go a whole lot more with the pop-up. So they really enjoyed that. So it's exciting. So my partner's never been to Tennessee and certainly to the Smoky Mountains and all that. So that will be fun to get to show him that part of my heritage in that. And of course, my daughter will be there with the grandkids and all that. So it'll be fun. I can't wait to for all of us to get together. And that'll be, and that's a perfect time of year, right? I mean, because that time of year down there is, actually by the time his birthday and that comes around later in October, everything will probably have started. The leaves and all that will probably be off the tree, actually, not so much on the tree. How did I just get off on the 1/4 inch? I don't think I did. All right. What else? Thank you, Miss Zaza. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I'm excited for him. I know he's excited. So it's always a fun time. Weddings and life events like that are always fun to celebrate, right? So interesting enough, his future father-in-law lives down in Tombstone, Arizona. He actually lives completely off the grid, but we're looking at possibly relocating down there when I retire. His father-in-law is already retired and truly lives off the grid, which I don't think John's ready to completely live off the grid, although I would like to have some, I do want to be out of subdivisions, neighborhoods, all that. I do want to be able to have a little bit more independence um, in my twilight years. my golden years, as they call them, right? And so he sent me his information today. He went and looked at a piece of land that we were interested in and said it was actually a really nice piece of land and how cool it was. And it's actually 4 acres. So we'll see. We can't get down there at least for a couple of weeks. And the problem is for us to even just say we'd run down on the weekend and look at it, it's 4 hours. So, but I would like to get the land purchased this year so then we can be looking at what do we want to do when it comes to building. Because I really would like to get me a barn dominium. So does that tell you what kind of personality I have? We'll see. So it's just amazing when I started watching those on YouTube and what they're doing nowadays. So because we really need the space is the problem. It's not, it's funny. I kept wishing we had bigger houses when the kids were little, and we had good sized homes. I mean, we've always had a decent sized house, but now the crafting just takes so much room, and I feel like I am so efficient in the way that we store stuff, and stage stuff, and do all that. But yet, at the end of the day, it's like I can't. You just can't get enough. I mean, it's just you can't ever have enough space, it doesn't seem like. So we'll see. I'm not sure what we're going to end up doing. All right, guys, I know I'm missing chat. I'm trying not to. Uh, oh, Joanne says, I love the red, white, and blue with gold stars. Thank you. That's called Sparkle and Stripes. And that is a quilt that I actually entered in 2 quilt shows this year. We did not win anything on it, but we did get some good feedback and learn from things. But that is of course, Villa Rosa design. It actually went together pretty quick. It does not have Y seams in it, but it was interesting in how to finish that block out. And it's one of those where you have to read the instructions about 6 times and then just trust that the instructions know what they're doing and just do what the instructions say. And that first block went together like just perfect. I mean, it just could not have gone together better. And I'm like, okay, so I'm so glad I just did what the instructions said and not tried to overthink it or put my own spin on it. And it really came together nicely. And then the stars themselves actually cut with my AccuQuilt and appliqued those with the AccuQuilt file and that. So that made it much easier because I'm still not ready to try to do applique by hand. But yeah, who knows? Maybe one day, right? All right. Majority says, "Where's the wedding when I got the bus ready? Who's coming?" So it is going to be. I think it's going to be in Gatlinburg. She keeps changing her mind every time she thinks about how many showing up in that. But it's going to be. It will be the weekend of October 17th is when it's going to be. And I've never bought fabric. I haven't been to Tennessee for years. I mean, because I go back east, but I always go back to Virginia because that's where my daughter is. My son just moved there a few years ago. He was over in Alcoa, and now he's over he bought a home actually in Knoxville where he plans to retire. He let me know today he's got 23 months and he will be done with the U.S. Air Force and be ready to start his second life. And so I'm super, super proud of him, but I also know he's ready to kind of have his military service come to an end. And I asked him, given the crazy way economies and everything are right now, would he even consider staying longer? And he said the problem is he really likes Knoxville. He likes the house. Like he's kind of set himself up. And he said if I would, you know, re-enlist that he would end up having to move, and he said, I'm not willing to give that up and move out of Tennessee. So I don't blame him. So he's an old Kentucky boy, raised in South Carolina, Virginia, and ended up in Tennessee. So, which kind of surprised me because, so much of the Air Force is in Texas, especially San Antonio, and he was in Texas for a long time. So I kind of figured he'd end up going back to Texas. He really did like Texas, but he's really happy in Knoxville. So I'm really happy for him and his bride to be. So I think that's exciting. All right, let me see if I can get this strip together and then I'll show you all what this is looking like. This is that Bear Hugs pattern. It is an old pattern from Villa Rosa. 2000, well, actually 2022, so only at 4 years out. There's another one that I just got that I found from them that I was like, oh my God, I gotta have that. Grabbed it. Um, and again, I had to wait, like a week for them to send it because I just don't want to not have their cards. I don't like the digital. But anyways, I saw this pattern, knew I really liked it. And then when I got here, it was I noticed the copyright on it was 2019, so it's definitely one of their older patterns, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not a still good, valid pattern, right? And again, I like some of the Villa Rosa because I can do AccuQuilt with a lot of them. It's very easy to convert a lot of their patterns into AccuQuilt patterns. And so another reason that I enjoy using them. We are doing a new AccuQuilt pattern at the Quilt Retreat. So Ray Steves is going to be there. He's written a pattern specifically for us that he'll introduce at the retreat. So that's exciting. But he asked me if I would bring my AccuQuilt cutter and one of my cube sets and a few of the bobs and that so people can get used to it. So we actually he's bringing his setup. Another retreater is bringing her setup. So we'll actually have plenty of AccuQuilt and that to play with. But I was surprised how many said that they actually have AccuQuilt or they've done, but they've really not fooled with it that much. So we may keep that as the theme for May. We've already locked in the 2027 date for the retreat. And so we'll continue to do Memorial Day weekend and New Year's Eve. Will be our two retreats each year until they start selling out and we grow big enough where we might add a third. But that said, it seems like folks really like the idea of coming and doing some of the AccuQuilt. So we'll see how this week goes, and then we'll make a decision after that based on the feedback and that, and decide what we want to do moving forward. I'm really excited about the patterns and the projects that we picked for the New Year's Eve retreat. I love the table runner. This year, instead of doing a 3-yard quilt like we did last year, we did a different quilt kit. That'll be part of that, and I am excited about those. So I'm anxious to see because online and in store they really look super, and so that's going to be fun. All right, let me show you guys. Look how cute this is coming out. So I really, really like how this is coming out. And, there's nothing neater than that peach and yellow and green and those colors coming together. On the screen, that peach really looks very orange, but it's not as bright orange as it looks like it's showing up, at least on the monitor for me. But this pattern goes together pretty quick. So again, that's another reason I like a lot of AccuQuilt, or not AccuQuilt, Villa Rosa, right? All right, let's see who else. Danielle says, Brendan, you sent me down a spiral on that site. Yeah, I did want to go back. I'm assuming, although I haven't caught up in all the conversation, that you're all probably talking about the pattern creator for the pattern that Brendan's getting to work on, starting to work on. And because I thought, yeah, I would like to go see what patterns they have. I do like the pattern that he picked Brendan and I seem to have a lot of the very similar taste, right? Because he likes that mid-century in that. So when you talk about the MCMs and that kind of stuff, I definitely. And it was fun to see that he finished Mr. Quilter and he's got his big banner hanging up behind him. So that was awesome. So again, always fun. So definitely go over and check out his channel if you haven't. Definitely check out what Mr. Brian's been up to with witchcraft. That's always his postings are absolutely hilarious. I always enjoy seeing what he's got going on. Of course, Danielle always has multiple projects going on. And if you're looking for an Advent box, I think she still has some available. I ended up not doing her Advent box this year because I already got committed before I knew she was doing hers. But if you're looking for a new Advent box that none of us have seen and um, working through, then I would definitely reach out to her and her give Danielle box an opportunity because I can only imagine what she's putting together and what she has in her mind. And I bet it turns out to be an awesome box. All right, see who else. Yeah, Brendan says some of the blocks are incredibly detailed, so we'll see how I go on these. Yeah, I will have to say when I was looking at one of them, I was like, wow, there's some real detail in there, and that's got to be some really small stitching. And I don't know, he's got such a patience, right? I haven't developed that part of my skill set yet. I am really happy with the way my piecing has turned out lately, and it's really starting to come together and click and get me there. But um, some of the things that he's done, it's such a new quilter, is just crazy. And then you look at Brian, some of the others, it's like, man, I still have such a long way to go. But that's okay. We keep plugging away, and you know what? It's like when I played golf years ago. The only way you get better is to just continually go at it. You're not thinking. Yeah, it's one of those. It's almost like a muscle memory, right? So you're not going to get better by not doing it. And I choose now when I am going to rip out, and when I just go, it's close enough for government work, right? And so we have to make those choices. So I've got quite a few quilts now that are still hanging in the closet waiting on someone to put them on the long arm. And I'm thinking, wow, that's not really reflective of the work I do now because those quilts, some of those are over a year old. But I also think, you know what? No one else is going to be near as critical as I am. And as a gift, going to one of the charities in that, they're certainly not going to look at the detail. They'll understand what was gifted to them and just appreciate uh, the love and focus that was given to them and presented with, right? So I do like being able to donate some of the quilts and that. And then my kids, like I said, are still enjoying them. So now I got to figure out what I want to do for my son's wedding. If I want to make a quilt for him, I did just get a new AccuQuilt pattern that actually had the wedding ring pattern in there and that. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know that I really want to do that. I got to figure out really what, and I guess I need to talk to his fiance, right? Because his bride, I know, has very strong opinions about what they like and what she wants. So I did get his birthday present done, so it's interesting. I'll be able to give him what I had done earlier for his birthday, so I'll be able to actually gift that to him while we're there and see that. But then I've got to figure out what to do for them as a couple for their wedding. So I don't know. Very interesting. What else? Nikki says we had a Coleman pop-up still. Yeah, but they're not the Coleman anymore. They're not the someone bought them, and I know the last time I looked at them, it seemed like they had really changed the brand up, and it just didn't seem to be the same, but maybe they are. Um, but I don't know that I'm ready to go back to camping. My niece talks about when she retires, they want to buy an RV because she really wants to kind of have that lifestyle to travel and all that. But the problem is, I look at those and they're so expensive, and I've always heard that the maintenance on them gets really ridiculous. And then if you get too big an RV, you can only have it worked on at, camping centers like Camping World and that. And then I just don't know that that's kind of like the lifestyle I want. I don't know that I want to just wander around. I've really become such a homebody, um, which is interesting. But right now, my partner is as well. Maybe he'll change a little bit, but I think we're both kind of very content just to be at home, be with each other, do our own thing, spend time with family as we can, but not anything beyond that, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Well, as I said, her friend had a pop-up camper as well. Oh, Danielle did buy patterns. See, Danielle's not always the best influence either. I have got so many gnome paper piecing patterns. Have I got any of them done? No, but I bought all of those off Etsy because I fell in love with those. And again, I keep collecting. I seem to collect paper piecing patterns, but I never seem to get them going and started. I still want to do that Christmas tree one because I think that would make a cool table runner wall hanging and get me some experience started that way. But maybe that's maybe one retreat that'll be something we do is paper piecing. Make it be a way of getting me to get it done, right? Thought I trimmed these blocks, but obviously I did not. And they're not that far off. They're off like an eighth of an inch. And it was so funny working with some of the different fabrics, right? When I started working with this fabric, I was like, oh yeah, this was definitely one of John's uh, phases of starching, right? So I use the that creative crafting. I don't, for some reason, Best Press I've not been in, I don't like, but the one from Niagara for crafting I really do like. And I tell you, I think it's one of those things like when you get used to starching the fabrics, it just makes such a difference to me. And I really do like having stiffer fabrics that doesn't fray like some of it. And I know part of it's the brand too, right? So I know some fabrics just fray more than others, but I seem to always get into a lot of loose strings and that. And it's like, no, that drives me nuts. Got to get that done. There we go. Really? Come on, guys. There. All right. Um, oh, Melissa got a pattern too. Look at you. See, all of them. But I don't think some of these creators understand how we talk about something, then all of a sudden we all have to jump over and get it. It's of course, yeah, that's what Ian started with the Hemingway pouch. I had that for 2 years until Brendan got it going again. I went back and got that pattern. Mona says Carl will like the Smoky Mountains. I know he will. We used to love going down there. The kids always did. We used to love going over to Cherokee, but I don't know that we'll really have time to get over to Cherokee this trip because, Lord, it takes 45 minutes to an hour to get across the mountain and all that. And Gatlinburg's gotten so crazy. And I would love to go to Dollywood. I've actually never been to Dollywood. So I would enjoy going to Dollywood. I saw where she just canceled. a bunch of concerts because her health is still not what it should be, which is sad. But, we forget about how some of these stars are, they're not kids anymore. And it's sad to see that, but she's still with us. We'll see how she does. Nikki says we went to Yellowstone with our pop-up. It snowed on my brother's birthday and it was August. See, how crazy is that? That's definitely something we are looking to not have, depending on where I end up moving to retire, because I still want a very, very mild winter. I don't mind. I can deal with the cold better than I can deal with the snow. And I don't mind a few inches every year. I don't want to get into anything where they talk about a snowstorm of 15, 20 inches and they act like that's normal. No, I don't think that's normal. But a few inches here and there, I almost feel like it's good that you almost need that to help kill some of the bugs and some of the viruses and that kind of stuff. So I still kind of believe in that. But again, I'm not looking for something crazy either. I don't. It'll be different too, right? Because I know I don't have to go out, right? So I don't have to go to the store that day. I don't have to, hopefully, go to the doctor or anything else. So it doesn't. It will put a different spin on things for me. Delia says we were in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg this past September. It's a beautiful. It is. It's just such a fun area. It's just they've got so much there. It's just so crazy. Hey, Mona, senior moments. Mona did what? I did not realize you changed your name. Um, so good to see you. I appreciate that you did the shout out for Tim Totten today too. I don't know if you did it today, but it popped up on my feed today, and that was such a nice thing. So that was cool to see. Rob says, so nice seeing guys crafting and sewing. I always think I'm the only one. Nope, you're not. There are a few of us floating around, hence how we got started with Guys Craft too, right? But and we're actually very excited. We have a male coming to the quilting retreat. We originally had planned this to be a men's retreat, but we just couldn't generate enough interest out here to have a men's only. And I had several of the ladies asking me, if you would make it a co-ed retreat, we'd show up. So um, all of our retreats are co-ed. So we don't, obviously, we're not doing gender specific. I do think it would be fun to do a full men's retreat at some point, but maybe once our channel and our name gets bigger, we'll try that again. But for now, we'll just stick with the co-ed. But yes, I totally get where you're coming from, Rob. I did feel like for a long time I was the only one out here, and then I ran into Sean and ran into Russ and ran into Brian, and there are quite a few of us. But in our quilt guild, there are two other men in my local guild, and then I'm sure the Arizona Quilt Guild that I belong to have, quite a few men, but it does seem like we are kind of few and far between. But I still laugh, because every now and then, depending on now, all my local quilt stores know me very well, but I still remember when I would first go into these, even our local stores, they were always asking if I was looking for my wife. Nope, here for myself. And now they're always very glad to wait on me because I end up spending too much money. And I do have a posting coming up this week. Um, I had just finished it. I'm still editing it, but I did have to go get some patriotic fabric because we have the holiday quilting bee coming up. And for some reason, John never has patriotic fabric. And so I had to go get more this weekend, and I spent way too much money, but I definitely have enough patriotic fabric for a while, so I did go and grab that this weekend. Sally says, my break is over. Back to packing and loading the vehicle. Y'all have a great week. You too, Sally, if you're still on. I hope you have an amazing week and enjoy it. All right, trying to catch up, guys. Sorry. See, I was just talking, sewing, talking, and just got all behind. Hey, Heather, welcome in. Thanks for being here. If I miss anyone, it's absolutely not on purpose. I try to jump back and forth and back around, but I don't always, can't always keep up. And we try to do an inclusive channel, right? For me, it was always important that our channel was about creating, about being who I am, about just being very natural with that, and the fact that I am learning on the fly. And I make lots of mistakes. I use the seam ripper, probably not as often as I should on some of the projects that you'll see, but it's fine. And like I said, my skills have really gotten so much better. But let's see if we can knock out, if we have time, to get one of the QOVs done, at least one row, and see how that turns out. So that goes this way. Is that right? It has to go this way. All right. See if we can get that going. But this Monday, Memorial Day, a week from tomorrow, will be the Holiday Quilting Bee. If you've never joined us for a Holiday Quilting Bee, we do those on national holidays that John has off from work. Starts at 7 a.m., runs till 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. We'll have prizes and things to give away. We'll laugh, we'll chat, we'll do all kinds of craziness. Come for 10 minutes, come to 3 hours, do whatever makes sense for you that day. If you want to work on the same project that I'm working on, I will be working on the Banner Day quilt table runner by De La Rosa again. This one is by Trisha Lynn Maloney, and it does finish out 15 inches by 63 inches. And so that was one of the things, one of the reasons I had to go get some patriotic fabric. It's easy enough to do the red, white, and blue, which is probably what I should have done, but I think I'm going to mix it up. I did find some white on white patriotic fabric that had stars and another one that had flags on it. I just really liked the way that looked, so I did grab that. And so that, I don't know, I still haven't cut or figured out what I'm doing for that table runner yet, but I now have plenty of fabric in-house to make that choice. And so I will be doing that. And depending on how the retreat goes, I may end up having to cut during that 3 hours and try to get some sewing done, but we'll see. It has certainly been a while since we've been able to have a holiday quilting bee, so I am excited about that and hope that all of you can join if you've not joined in the past. But we tend to have a good time and just kind of hang out, and it's my opportunity because I normally don't get to do things during the week. Other than now we're doing Thursday evening, but I don't get to do a lot during the week because of work. And so it's always fun to be able to do that. All right, so let's see. If I said this one, all right, so if I did it that way, that went that way, it now goes this way. All right. Not that it probably really matters, but I want to make sure. I'd like to follow the pattern for once. I tend to put John's spin on every pattern, and it would be nice to occasionally go, look, I actually did what that pattern said to do. But if not, it's okay. It just makes it more special, right? Because I enhanced what the creator had originally spun or put out there. All right. Oh, hey, Raven. I miss seeing you pop in. Always fun to see your name pop up. Hey, Joyce, welcome in. Who else? Hi, Joyce, Raven, Delia. Oh, Mona goes, I have to change my devices again, battery going. I get that. My phone did not charge last night, and that just really drives me nuts when that happens to me. Um, who else? If you're looking, if you're talking about, Kim, if you're talking about the pattern for the cats, that was bear hugs. If you're talking about the upcoming holiday quilting bee, it's Banner Day. And if you're talking about the one I'm working on now, it's Tibet. And again, all three, it's funny that right now I happen to be working on all Villa Rosa patterns. I do like Villa Rosa, but it's not like all I do. I mean, I do a lot of other patterns as well. But it just so happened, this is the one, this is the pattern Pat picked specifically for this. Oh, Brenda said great minds think alike. Yes, we do. Absolutely. Who else? Oh, Mona sent a star. Hey, thank you for the stars. I always like the sparkling stars. They always mean a lot. Thank you, Joydy. You too, Raven. Mona, how did you send a star? Um, Look at Joydy lighting up with stars. Thank you all. Thank you guys. Darius says, as soon as I saw the skulls months ago, I said, oh, want to get the King Richard Lionheart done before I buy and do that one. Yeah, I tell you what, that's my problem. I'm buying patterns faster, and I used to think the problem was I bought fabric faster than I could ever sew. Now I find I'm buying patterns faster than I can get anything done. It's getting really out of hand. Mm, who else? Danielle says, Heather, there's several super awesome looking Halloween themed ones. All right, so I have no idea. I got my checkered order in the other day because we buy a lot of things um, to keep in our Etsy shop and anyways, keep things going, and we do some sales and that kind of stuff, and that works out great. I don't try to talk about that a lot here because I'm not here about promoting our Etsy store and other things. I just enjoy being with you all, and it's really about crafting and quilting. But that said, I ended up opening the box the other day, and I apparently bought 8 half yards of a brand new Riley Blake Halloween collection. It's over on the shelf. I should show you all at some point. But I was like, the last thing I needed was more Halloween fabric. And I know what I do sometimes is I put things in my shopping cart thinking, let me think about that. And then I get in a hurry because there's something else I need and I just need to get it ordered. And I forget to go back and go, oh, there were some things you were thinking about. And so now I ended up with more Halloween fabric. I'm like, the last thing I needed was more Halloween, but it is what it is. And then yesterday, I ended up buying some Halloween fabric, so we just won't go there. Um, oh, Nikki goes, I go back and forth selling my camper, but I love it, but hubby hates it. We enjoyed it. I mean, I loved it when the kids were young in that. Anymore, I just don't know that I want to do some of the work that's associated with it. But I did like having the pop-up. It was quick and easy. A lot of times we'd get to campgrounds and I didn't like the way they pulled us in or made us set camp up so we could get on each corner and flip it and have the door open, to a better mountain view or what. There was just so much you could do with that. So I loved our pop-up. I mean, I'd hate to think how many thousands of miles we put on there, but I also like the fact that it wasn't heavy to pull. It was quick and easy. We did have AC attached to it, and but we could get somewhere, drop it, and then we still had our van to run around town and all that. So I don't know. It's just crazy. Debt Free Quilter's here. Hey, Debt Free Quilter, welcome in. Thanks for being here. It so exciting. Always good to see you drop in. Katie Crafts is here. Welcome in. Um, who else? Guys, I really am getting behind. All right, let me show you. I got the first row done on the Quilt of Valor. Pat's not even on tonight, so she's missing it. Nikki goes, I went to Dollywood when I was a kid. Yes, I would love to go. We just never took the kids as much as we went there. Look, I mean, this is really going to be a cute quilt. And Pat sent me all the fabrics in that, so she's the one that put all these together, but I'm really happy with the way this is working and turning out. I think that's going to be cool. Nikki goes, I wouldn't want to live any further north than mid-Missouri. The older I get, the more I like summer and not winter. Amen. Me too. I am exactly the same way. All right, let's jump over. Okay, everything's went to sleep. All right, let's jump over to this camera. I do have a couple of the Banner Day patterns, so let's get over to Nightbot and give those away tonight. Excuse me. I will try to get those in the mail to you, so hopefully you would have those in time for the holiday quilting bee a week from Monday. But I don't have any control over the postal service. Anyone deals with the postal service knows that, right? But let's give a couple of these patterns away as soon as I can get my keyboard to wake back up. Everything's went to sleep on me. And let's see that it's going to work. We did finally get Mr. Nightbot to work the other night. So let's go with, since this is called Banner Day, let's go with exclamation point day, D-A-Y, for these. I've got two. We'll draw two winners. You do have to be live on the air with me. If you're watching the recording, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you that go back and watch some of the recordings and that. But unfortunately, we only do the giveaways during the live. And so just FYI. The Free Quilter says Halloween in May and Christmas in July, right? How cool is that? Kim says, I love the fabric and love the pattern. I do too. It's so funny when Pat saw me talking about the pattern for something else. She goes, that would make a perfect QOV. It's funny, every time I show the new Villa Rosa patterns for each month, she emails me to say that particular one would make a great QOV. And now she's kind of got me even thinking about it because I bought something the other day and I thought, wow, that would make a perfect Quilt of Valor. But it's like, oh my goodness. Oh, there's Pat. She says, no one comes here for Halloween, but I have a black cat and he's on all the fabric all the time. Yes, I tell you what, I am very happy not to have trick-or-treaters, but you kind of miss the fun of that, right? So there is fun with trick-or-treaters as well. All right, so let's jump over. Let's give the first pattern away. And guys, if you win, just send me an email at johnjohn@guyscraft2, and that will I will get these dropped in the mail for you this week. So let's see. Pat says it is contagious. I think it is. Oh, Zaza is the winner. Congratulations, Zazaliter. I so appreciate you. Kim goes, I just discovered your channel yesterday. I didn't know Villa Rosa did the monthly subscription. What pattern are you sewing? This one is called Tibet. It's an older pattern from 2014, actually. Sorry, what camera am I on? But I do a lot of their patterns. I like their patterns because I can also do them with the AccuQuilt for convert them and get most of them cut that way. All right, let's do one more winner. And Landa Rogers won the pattern as well. So both of you. So Zaza and Landa, if you will send me your address, I will get those dropped in the mail this week for you. I so appreciate it. Always fun. Yes. So I do a lot more, probably a lot more Villa Rosa patterns than I realize sometimes. Seems so blank. I keep looking at this blank wall because this is my design wall, and I've had this I've had the cats and that hanging up there all week, and I just took it down to do the live tonight. And it's like, okay, now it just looks so crazy. So, guys, that's Guys Craft 2. My name is John. I so appreciate my members. Thanks for being here. My moderators, thanks for all the work that you do on the back side of the channel for me. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be live again Thursday evening at 6:30. It will probably be a shorter cutting up and piecing out this week just because I will be broadcasting from the retreat and we will have just finished dinner or kind of be in the middle of dinner. So I'll probably be doing that from the pool at the retreat, but kind of anxious for you all to get to share and see some of the exciting things that we have going on there. But thanks for joining. Thanks for being here this afternoon. I hope the start of your week is amazing. And as always, guys, until next time, happy crafting.